Hi, my loves. Hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hi. Hi, I'm recording this directly on the Lionsgate activation portal when it is the strongest on the 8th of August, 2021. However, it's a timeless reading. When you feel the message or the title or the thumbnail or whatever speaks to you, you just watch it and it's yours at that time, most likely. This is so funny because this is has been my old intro and I haven't used it in a while. So there may be something past popping up like briefly and you realizing, okay, that's interesting. You know, having this kind of like conversation with yourself, how far you've come, that in that sort of a sense. It was also interesting as I was setting up the table and there was something about diplomacy. This does not have to apply to all of you, but how you kind of have the ability to bring people together using diplomacy, because I felt like some of my decks weren't comfortable in the spot they were because of they all have different vibrations and are used for different purposes. For example, this one is very earthy and is also very protective. Like I feel a strong sense with those. It's also, of course, who made these decks, right? And then who's using these decks as well. They're laying right next to something earthy. And then over here I have this one, the Good Tarot, and then the Work Your Light. These don't seem to want to be paired together. I mean, there's a better way to do things. That's the thing. They could, but why would you want to do that if there's another way? If the, you know, a Queen of the Moon Oracle deck and the Good Tarot get along so well, why would you pair them otherwise? They're still in the same line and they all serve. There's the sense of acceptance and also, again, diplomacy. So you may see things. So you either may be in the coaching business, is what I'm getting, or you just have the ability, some of you, I think this is rather specific, to just bring people together that are different. And you kind of know their strengths and weaknesses almost intuitively. And you can feel them emotionally. And hence you know how to, it's almost like a game, although I don't mean in the sense of manipulating or negative. It's just like, you know how to pair things up so they vibrate in a really good setting. You know what I mean? That's it. That's the message. I already pulled a couple of cards for you that wanted to come out already. We have from the Lightworker Oracle and the Sacred Earth Oracle. So two wanted to come in. I usually only have either one. Right now, mostly the Lightworker Oracle. But again, they both wanted to come in. It's so beautiful. It's Spiritual Decree. It's gorgeous. And the other one is Discernment. So we've got strong female influence, female power, female voice in this. And this is not gender specific, all right? Because we both have, we all have both in us, the feminine and the masculine. We have the embodiments within us. So, this is interesting, and I'll get to that in a minute. And then we have illumination and connection. And by the way, the question I asked for this reading was just like, what do you want us to know right now? So with illumination and connection, because I immediately felt these two, they had a connection, either psychic but they're connected in the sense of interconnectedness. So your divine sister, your divine brother, you know what I mean? And oh yeah, that's that heart expansion, like that realization. Oh my God, yes, yes, yes. You guys, there's so much in there when you all of a sudden understand and see someone from a different perspective, but when that goes so deep where you realize, whoa, like I haven't seen this about you before, but now I realize like you're my soul brother, you're my soul sister. And this does not have to be romantic. It's just like that deeper understanding. We're having a contract, however that plays out. And this could be through random coincidences that you met or you will meet. But there's this deeper sense of connection because you yourself have managed to form a deeper connection with yourself. So that's that. And I also felt strongly for myself right now with all the energies. There can be anger because of all the fiery energy that is popping up. And that could feel kind of irrational or something like that, you know, but I almost feel inclined to say be as graceful as you can with it. Like be patient with yourself is what I mean with this, because then you're automatically graceful. If you're not taking care of yourself and of this very emotion, then it's most likely to explode at someone, or, you know, comes out at a time that you maybe not prefer, rather to, let's say, I really feel like And that's what I'm going to do. It's raining right now outside, but I'm still going to go outside and just sit under a tree and release those excess energies that are within me to the earth. Because yesterday I had this huge release and I almost couldn't stop. I couldn't contain it. It just came up and out, and it had to do with the sacral chakra and the root chakra. And it was just like, it was my heart was hurting. And I just decided I need to go outside. I need to be in nature right now. And I just allowed those emotions to flow outside, and I couldn't really pinpoint them. And that doesn't matter. You don't have to pinpoint them. You just trust the process. And I was just like laying in my hammock in between two trees. And I was like, I know this place. I trust that nature is going to take care of the rest. And I asked my tree friends there to please step in and do whatever healing was necessary. And so it was. So really trust in that process, and look how gorgeously she's immersed in nature. And discernment is very much talking about watch what you take in, watch who you allow into your field, watch how much, like, where's your mind at, where's your body at, where are your emotions at, and then come from that place. That's the discernment. I'm actually going to read a little bit, I think. Yeah, that one, the spiritual meaning, I would like to. So earthly meaning, the rest of it, because that's important, I believe. Give yourself the opportunity to absorb higher thinking, greater visions, and deeper love. And this is so much talking about love. This whole reading is so gentle. I can feel that feminine energies flowing so gently. And the spiritual meaning is breathe in the Divine Mother's deep love for this world. Surround yourselves with work of peace and compassion. Take on the beauty and joy of living. Increase your concentration of love, and it will naturally flow out into the world from high to low, following the channels to where it is needed most. The energy you foster in yourself and in the world is a choice. Be selective. Choose love. And I had a moment because I woke up kind of cranky, and I realized when before, let's say 5 or 10 years ago, this was not necessarily a choice. It didn't feel like a choice to me when I woke up in such a state to choose I can be happy. And this morning I realized I had the thought, do I even want to be like happy? That's my choice. Right now I'm at the point where this is an actual choice. And sometimes I like it. I like to be in the cranky state. I'm just allowing myself that. And in that allowing, my state kind of like immediately shifted because I was in full acceptance of it, if that makes sense. And I know if you just give or tell someone without the backstory, it's a choice to be happy. It's a choice if you're depressed or not, because at some stage it just isn't. It doesn't seem like it. And if these are too far apart, much in the sense of diplomacy, it's very hard for them to come together. But if you actually allow yourself to open up and give the backstory with it, like where are you coming from, then the other person most likely is going to do the same. I've seen this numerous times when two people come together, also on the channel, in the comment section, or myself coming together in the comment section with someone else, and then the understanding for each other is greater and they can kind of meet in the middle. And I'm strongly, I don't know if I said it earlier, I was getting mycelia with mushrooms, mycelia, how they're so connected. They're connecting like the trees, and the trees themselves have those roots, and they're sending out those signals. There's a symbiosis that is happening, and we as human beings have that too. Okay, this was too much. You have to do that again. They were saying, it's like one, okay, let me try. I'm trying to bring this down. So it's like when you have a PET scan of your brain, when you're in meditation, different parts of your brain light up. They may even light up completely. Same when you're doing like microdosing and stuff, or when you're, LSD. Again, I'm not advertising drugs here at all. I'm just stating facts. So different parts of your brain that you usually wouldn't use, or not so much, are all of a sudden getting active. Again, you can use the same thing with doing breath work. It's just the same thing, or meditation, that can be achieved. So you all of a sudden may be finding yourself in a state of complete alignment where you can actually feel the oneness. And then comes in, thank you, the do unto your neighbor as you wish to be done unto yourself. And when you take this a bit further, is like how you are to yourself is automatically how you are to your neighbor, if that makes sense. If we're taking it to that, that does not mean if you've been traumatized that you've try to like work on the external world, try to please people, please whoever crosses your path. That's not what I mean, because this is a little bit further than that. In the development, this means you being healed tremendously from the codependency, from the people pleasing, or a good part of it anyways, and you realize I really have to take care of myself, because then the effort that was necessary to please other people is no longer pleasing other people, but you're coming from the place of pleasing yourself first, taking care of yourself first, and then you're so much nicer to your environment. It doesn't require effort, because sometimes that scenario that I just described requires huge amounts of energy. So you may have often felt depleted when being amongst larger crowds of people, or just when you're having a conversation with someone, because it is like this. When you're coming with this thing and you're flowing out of, energies are flowing out of you, resources are flowing out of you into another person, and they're not giving back anything because you're giving anyways regardless, that's not necessarily unconditional love, but that is coming from a place of trauma, okay? And there's a difference, and when you understand it and when you heal yourself from that, life and interactions with people will be completely different and changed around. And I'm speaking from experience, as most of you know that have been here on this channel, and I'm trying to bring you this message with a very soothed touch, and I hope I'm getting it across, because my goal is not to trigger you necessarily, although I know this can be triggering, again, if this is too far apart, or if this is really like a place where you're still hurting. But there is another way to live, and when you heal this, it's possible to get to that state where it's actually okay, where you have your boundaries, your values in place. And since this is a general reading, it really depends on where you are, so you just pick like on this timeline where you find yourself, okay? Yeah, and then exactly, and then you have that connection, from illumination, from all of a sudden getting it. So you may have been alone for quite some time, getting it. You're being prepared. You may have been able to start to channel information down, because this is what happened to me as I started to channel. Like, different parts of my brain would literally light up, and it was tingling, and it was an interesting experience. And as more came in throughout the years, I started to different places started to get activated, and I could actually feel it. And then again, it goes to connection. So you're no longer alone. You never were in the first place, but there must have been a period in between where it felt like you were super alone and no one was there. Of course, this is also sometimes part of the journey, because you're supposed to focus, like she's doing, on yourself, come to that you are your anchor. And for that, sometimes things need to break away that we think and believe we need, which we actually do need as a survival mechanism. So it's like this, this life-saving ring around you that you're holding on to, but you never learned to swim because you really held on to it. So Spirit has taken that thing away from you and has been like, okay, there's the next driftwood, you need to swim to that. And you're just like, oh my God, I can't swim. There could be anxiety and stuff involved in this also, and great fear coming up, and you're working through this. Though you're realizing I'm strong enough, and then all of a sudden you're becoming this pro swimmer, where before you were so afraid of the deep and darkness of this huge ocean that we're all swimming in, and all of a sudden you're becoming a master of this, with great respect for the ocean. Though you're never losing that in a sense, but you must have cursed it out at some stage also, because it's just like, what the hell am I doing here, kind of a thing. Like, why do I have to do this? Why is no one coming to save me? Where is the big boat that is picking me up? When is it getting easier? And then all of a sudden you realize, like, this whole journey, what it was for, it was there to teach you to swim in this huge ocean and to become comfortable. And again, a master. This is mastery of the shadow and the light, Absolutely. And I'm going to read this spiritual decree to you. Number 41, by the way. You have been wondering what will happen next in your life, and realizing how much power you have to decide that for yourself. What do you wish to have happen next? Are you willing to use your divine birthrights of free will, voice, and empowerment to set the cosmic wheels in motion? If your answer is yes, then it is time to speak your truth to the universe. Decree it, and you shall be it. You have been praying for help. Oh my God. Yeah. Asking for a map and wanting directions. You are wise in the ways of the receptive, responsive approach to life. It is spiritually mature to trust the greater divine. Why am I? Okay, never mind. It's fine. It's in the sense of making mistakes and it's still okay. You know, you don't have to be perfect. It's totally fine. You get the message across anyways. People are hearing you. It's a matter of just putting yourself out there, okay? So let me try that again. It is spiritually mature to trust the greater guiding power of the divine to direct your course, and yet the wishes in your heart are part of how that happens. Divine destiny is not something that just happens to you, but it is something that you co-create as a living spiritual being with free will and divine love beating in your heart. You are being honored for your ability to ask for guidance and wait for signs. You are being asked to set intention and develop faith in yourself, to trust in what your heart yearns for, and what you love so much that you are willing to go through the discomfort of growth to see it come to life. Much like the image they gave to me and I transported to you with the ocean and the driftwood and the life-saving ring. It is time for you to have the experience of seeing your intention blossom into manifestation. This does not mean that you have to make things happen. You are not responsible for how your manifestation occurs. The universe unfolds according to its own genius, of course. And oh my God, are they so genius in the unfoldment and bringing you stuff that you never thought possible, that you couldn't even think of. It's that kind of a genius. And when you look back on it, it's just like, that makes so much sense. And there's so much gratitude that comes with it. Yeah, but you are responsible for the words, beliefs, and intentions you express that are the seeds of your personal creations. The universe then responds in its own wise and powerful way. When this oracle card comes to you, it is time to speak your truth, very much in line with the Lion's Gate, and I saw it across social media as well, how people are no longer able to contain themselves. It's like, I need to speak it. Very interesting. You may also have like problems with your throat, like a sore throat or something like that. Anything that's connected. Yeah, I can feel the throat. Some of you may have heightened thymus, what's it called? Thymus activity. It's not thyroid, thymus, thyroid one. It's not thymus. You know, that organ that lies right here. Yeah, and that's part of it too. What does your heart truly yearn for? Focus on it and say it aloud. Don't be afraid to speak your dreams, desires, wishes, and fantasies. Sometimes it is only in daring to speak them aloud that we really understand what we want. This can be a terrifying, liberating, exciting, and life-changing moment. It is the moment that we grow into a spiritual adult, becoming willing to take responsibility for our own life journey. Precisely. Imagine how you're swimming there with that picture and all of a sudden you're just like, yes, I get it. I get it why I had to undergo this, because there was so much more. Because being in a life ring is very limited and it feels like you don't have a choice. Your environment is ruling you. And also, what if that thing disappears, kind of a thing, and then spirit comes in. So there must have been a tower moment or that pushing sensation from spirit, from the universe, that made you start to swim at some stage. But like, I'm also getting that, you know, everything that journey comes with, the desperation, the anger, the frustration, and all of that, till you finally like, I get it. Like, this was to make me, bring me to the stage of being responsible for my life and into the spiritual adulthood, basically. Will you speak your heart truth now? Feel your words moving the energy from deep within, transforming your truth into sound and releasing it as intent into the universe. Don't worry about finding the perfect words. Oh my God, just speak freely from your heart. Give yourself permission to express your deepest desires and then let go and trust. The invocation here, and I said this aloud earlier before I started the reading. By the divine authority in me, I intend to create, attract, and enjoy for the greatest good of all, a life of abundance in love, well-being, fulfillment, joy, and wisdom. I am willing to take the journey to grow into the fullest expression of my beautiful and true self. May these words be divinely empowered to create my reality. My sacral chakra is lighting up so much, like I can feel it radiating out, and that is that creative expression, that accepting all parts of yourself. May these words be divinely empowered to create my reality. Love, peace, happiness, trust, surrender, strength, grace, balance. May the power of voice and decree, the power of spiritual authority always be tempered by grace and divine mercy. Through unconditional love and my own free will, for the highest good of everyone, so be it. Powerful, powerful when you use your voice. Yeah. And speak from your heart. Like, this is the heart-guided path. No longer the ego-based path, moving away from that and from the mind, what your mind is trying to make you believe, but really rather like walking with your heart. Walking with your heart. I'm strongly getting like Native American vibes with this. You know how names were given to a person for certain traits that they had. So this would be, you would be called walk with the heart kind of a thing. And it's beautiful. Like I can so feel it radiating. I hope you can too. This is so much light and love. It's gorgeous. Yeah, because you're cool with yourself and the world, you're letting the world feel it. And it's just almost happening automatically. Oh, beauty. Yes. So we're using the Tarot of the Old Path, and that's interesting because that one hasn't been in for a while, and all of a sudden, because I used to use them, again there's that connotation again, I used to work with them quite a bit, and then they were kind of like taking a back seat, and now they're coming back in, and I just realized that they gained new meaning to me. So again, the solar plexus is so strong, it's like a throbbing, but it's not uncomfortable. But it is, I can sure feel it. It's almost like a butterfly. It's borderline butterfly, borderline kind of I feel sick. That could be the excitement. You know how excitement and anxiousness are so close together. Your brain does not, there's no difference basically in your body because your palms start to sweat, your heartbeat starts to go up, your breathing may enhance as well. So to your body brain function, it's virtually the same thing, anxiety or excitement. So you can actually tell yourself, I'm so excited. For example, before a big presentation, this really works. I used it numerous times. Instead of saying, God, I'm so fearful of this, you are telling yourself immediately, this is so exciting. And this works for anything. Like, I feel excited because you are starting, or this is quick. You're telling your brain what the state is that your body is in right now. I'm excited. This really works. Really does. What else do you have for us, please? Thank you. What else? What else do we want to know? Do we want to know? Do we need to know right now? What else, Spirit? Nothing for a while. All right, let's see. Ooh, 9 of Rods. Yeah. That is, you've been hurt and you may still feel, or may have felt the need to defend yourself. But you can do it now. This is in the realms of setting boundaries. I need more cards with that one. It has to do with discernment, like keep out that which you no longer want to feel. Yeah. Ooh. Knight of Rods. That's holding on to something though. Yeah, this is in the realm of, heart opening and letting go of something, because some connotation here, I'm getting that life ring again. You may still have stuff that you're holding on to, almost like weights that have the potential to, first of all, when you have weights and you're training, that makes you stronger. But at some stage, you may want to let go of them so you can feel more light. And this is kind of like in the sense of that. Because, and here's the truth. Like speaking your truth, the Ace of Swords. This is an elevation that is happening here right now. You're speaking your truth, but from your heart. So you came from this wounded kind of a place. And sometimes we have to overdo it in the learning process of defending ourselves, keeping people, places, and situation out so that we can heal and that we are comfortable with ourselves, that we no longer have to beat somebody with a stick when it's just like a slight connotation of your past, if that makes any sense. So and not in the literal sense, you know, but some person or situation reminds you of something from the past, so you almost like overreact, and they may not understand or may have not understood you, nor did you understand why they didn't understand you. So this, I feel, very much is in the past, although again, since it's a general reading, it could be what you're going through currently. And there's a sense of, for most of you, you know, and you're aware, and you're now in the process of letting that almost like last wand go here and drop, because there's no need for that anymore. Again, I'm getting that softness again, because what you went through, your past experiences, they're over, and you've worked through enough, you've been through enough healing to understand this and to move into a way softer place. Like I said, because you gained the strength, you gained the experience, you can now swim in this huge ocean comfortably. And this is what Spirit's trying to tell you too. Like, and where do you want to go from there? It's much in line with the Lionsgate reading, and also with the last reading that we did for the new moon. So all three are kind of in line with different special messages, I feel, for us. There's a commitment to yourself, like being married to yourself. Mind, body, and soul. Yep. Okay, these are too many. Thanks. Yeah, woohoo! Total elevation. We've got the Emperor. Yeah, that's it. And we've got this stair kind of a system going on. It's from speaking your truth and then being the Emperor. The Emperor has no regard for, you know, and no time either for pettiness and for inauthenticity, or for, although he understands. That's not the point. I'm not trying, this is not coming from an egotistical point of view. Because the Emperor just is like, I'm in my vibration, I've got my home, I've got everything in place, you know, or my vibration, and anything else will show up shortly. But they're so abundant in theirs. There's Horus energy here too. I'm getting Egyptian vibes also with the Ankh here in the symbol, the unification of the masculine and feminine, and the creation of that third gorgeous life energy. And again, this could be a child, but it doesn't have to be. Very much so. You know, that happiness that he radiates, and that I'm here, but it's also that femininity that comes in. That's the balance that's happening, you know. It's a gorgeous kind of an energy, because when you have to, of course, you're ready to defend, but that'll take a while for you now. It's no longer like it used to be, like you need to jump on anything that happens because you feel it's a threat or it's dangerous. It no longer is. It's a completely different life experience, and it could not be further apart. The Nine of Wands and then the Emperor here. He still wears a stick, but it's, you know, it's a scepter. He is royalty. And this is royalty. You've always been this, right? It was a matter of rediscovering that, of bringing it out, and your path has helped you bring this out within you. And it's, of course, complete self-responsibility, and now ready to really help others and assist others. Although you may have done that on your path, most likely, because in all stages, we are helpful to someone. It's not like we have to be fully developed and then we can help. We're helping by triggering other people. We're helping by being in the Nine of Wands, your Nine of Rods. It doesn't matter. And others, vice versa. And this is what the Emperor also understands. He or she really do understand that, which is why I said earlier with the, you know, with pettiness, he understands. He's just not being exposed to those energies anymore. He doesn't want to be. That's a choice. That's a choice. And he's choosing wisely. Like, and that's a discernment. Oh, I love this. This is beautiful. Yeah. No. Yes, later. So work your light. Oracle cards. What else, please? Thank you. Oh my God, we actually did have that. I believe it was, yeah, it was the, I keep saying the Lightworkers reading, but what I mean is the Lionsgate activation portal reading, but it's got strong Lightworker vibes. And oh my God, Lemuria, yeah, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. And that's precisely it. Like, where do you want to go? Like, the highest good of everyone in mind. That's exactly what the Emperor does. He's coming from a place of, I want everyone to thrive. Everyone to thrive. And Lemuria is, of course, connected to Atlantis, which is then connected to ancient Egypt. The water, the mountains, the nature, like all of that, the appreciation of it. There is so much already on this earth. Like, humans appreciate that so much already. It's just not being shown necessarily by the main media, like the incredible beauty and the other side of it. So it's up to us. It's almost like we're becoming the media, which is also something that social media is really helping with, because the individual has a great voice. The individual is gaining recognition instead of what once used to be. See, the shift is already occurring, and then we see more of it because people are reporting what they see, the beauty that they have in their lives, right? And then others see it and they gain popularity. You know what I mean? So it's very much, that's that shift. We're no longer interested in being fed certain information, discernment, right? Rather focus on the other thing. And if you know this channel, and if you're new, I should rather say, this does not mean disregarding your emotions or not seeing that anymore at all. You know it's there, much like the emperor. They're quite aware because they know where they came from. You know what I mean? So in that experience that they used to have from the past, they've gained so much wisdom, and it took them so much to be where they are right now that they now understand like the whole thing. They understand it, and hence they're using their discernment. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it's beautiful, and that's what they're creating. In setting up their own life, they're setting such an example, especially when it's visible to others, if they're not hiding in their apartment, which the emperor sure doesn't do. They're not. Like, they're exposing themselves in some form or another at some stage in their lives. Okay, so we're going to finish off with, there's no extended, with the angels and ancestors. I could have told you that before. Thanks. Oh my god. That's so funny. Yeah, we have the air guardian, shift your perception. So basically a confirmation for what we already heard here. This is what's occurring. And it's not a small shift either. So there we are. So the air guardian, shift your perception. Change the way you think, and you will change your whole reality. The air guardian card represents the angels of the air element. Traditionally, air is all about thoughts, thinking, and everything that's happening in the mind. So these angels can help you to overcome any thoughts that have come back to haunt you from the past, and to see the world more clearly. They are guiding you to change the way you think about certain situations. The throat. Okay. So, they are guiding you to change the way you think about certain situations, as this could be standing between you and greatness. Oh my God, precisely, that's that. Nine of Wands and the Emperor. Yep. When this card arises, it's an opportunity to learn about your way of thinking. You are being guided to recognize that not all you see is exactly the way you see it. Sometimes the mind can play games, and sometimes our perceptions can be wrong. If you are being challenged or feel there's a lack of clarity and direction in your life at the moment, there's a good chance that the way you're thinking or what you're focusing on has a lot to do with that reality. You are being guided to open your eyes and your mind, go beyond any limits you have set for yourself, and recognize that the way you see the world is how you will experience the world. Opportunities are moving in your direction, but they will only open for you if you are ready to do the internal work to support them. All right. Some of you may be there already. For others, this is your message, your conclusive message. But we are all constantly learning, and even if it's just like a small bit. What else? Thank you. Okay. And we have peace. Calm your thoughts and move your awareness to a peaceful space inside your heart. Feel the ebb and flow of love, the eternal movement of the stars. Your life is forever unfolding to greater spheres of love. Relax and do not worry about anything, for all is well. You will soon enter a time of well-earned peace and tranquility, and I'm really feeling this. It's this peaceful feminine energy. I can't describe it any other way. But it's also, you know, that alignment, again, that the masculine energy comes with also when they're at peace with each other. Yeah. And then, of course, as on the inside, so on the outside. So bring that peace out, bring it to yourself first, and then carry it out into the world. I want to finish with that. I'm sending you so much love, light, and shadow, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope it was helpful to you. I'm offering higher guidance coaching calls as well as private readings. Everything you need to know is in the description box down below. There's merchandise. There is the charged jewelry if you're interested. And also we have a fundraiser going on for Thorn, who are fighting against child trafficking. If you're interested to participate in it in any way, shape, or form, also prayers, whatever it is that you feel drawn to. All right, my friends, I'll see you soon. Bye.